Welcome to About Mansfield. It's your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Somark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniels, she's out there in Studio West. This is the January 21st, 2026, 304th edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information. Let's check the stories we're covering this week.
Candidate filing opens for City Council and School Board.
Proposed wastewater plant draws opposition.
Mansfield ISD calls for Innovation Expo entries.
Mansfield hosts community mural painting event.
Final Music Alley main stage slot still open.
Mansfield ISD updates basketball game entry rules. And in sports, North Texas SC signs a new defender.
And in the talk segment, Steve talks in studio with longtime Mansfield resident John Pressley. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Karen Fiagami, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse.
Candidate filing is now open for the May 2nd municipal and school board elections in Mansfield. Voters will choose representatives for 2 seats on Mansfield City Council, places 6 and 7, currently held by Todd Tenore and Larry Brosh. 2 seats on the Mansfield Independent School District Board of Trustees will also be on the ballot. Those positions are currently held by Dr. Benita Reed and Courtney Lackey-Wilson. Candidates must submit their applications by the filing deadline, Friday, February 13th, 2026, at 5 p.m. to be eligible for the ballot. For additional details on eligibility and filing procedures, applicants can visit the City of Mansfield or the Mansfield ISD websites.
Residents in West Mansfield are raising concerns about a proposed private wastewater treatment plant planned for the area. According to project filings, the facility will be built about a half-mile northeast of the intersection of Bennett-Lawson Road and Gibson Cemetery Road. The proposed plant will be designed to treat up to 490,000 gallons of wastewater per day and serve as many as 1,900 connections within a roughly 350-acre development area. Some nearby residents say that they are worried about potential impacts on water quality, odors, flooding, property values, and long-term environmental effects. Community members have organized to seek legal representation and to challenge the permit application through the Texas Environmental Protection Agency process. Supporters of the project have not publicly responded to those concerns. The permitting process remains under review by state regulators. Residents who live near creeks, including those feeding into Walnut Creek, say they are monitoring the situation closely as the application process moves forward.
Mansfield ISD is inviting students to participate in its 2nd annual Innovation Expo, a district-wide showcase of student projects focused on creativity, technology, and problem-solving. The event highlights student work aligned with the theme Dream Big and features projects ranging from digital media to engineering concepts and community-based solutions. Students may submit entries in one of 4 categories: dynamic storytelling, which includes short videos, animations, podcasts, TED-style talks, and digital storybooks; digital masterpieces, featuring projects such as digital art, photography, packaging design, and 3D design; Smart Solutions, focused on tech-based projects, including coding, app development, web design, video games, and virtual reality. And lastly, Community Innovations, where students identify a local or global challenge, research its impact, design a prototype, and submit a presentation or video. The submission window runs through January 31st, 2026. The second annual Innovation Expo will be held on February 28th. For additional information, students and families can email digitallearning@misdmail.org.
And calling, the City of Mansfield is hosting a community mural painting event on Saturday, January 24th. The project will take place indoors at the Chris Burkett Service Center located at 620 South Wisteria Street. The project will run throughout the day in multiple shifts beginning from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Volunteers will assist with a variety of tasks, including setup, painting the mural, staffing check-in tables, managing water and brush cleaning stations, documenting the process, and end-of-day cleanup. Organizers say the mural will be completed in sections with assignments based on skill level, ranging from basic paint-by-line work to more detailed painting. Participants are asked to wear clothing appropriate for painting. Lunch will be provided to registered volunteers. Organizers say the mural is intended to be a community project and will be completed by residents working in scheduled time slots throughout the day. Once it's finished, the mural will be located along the Pond Branch Linear Trail near the backyard, just off of South Main Street.
The City of Mansfield is accepting video submissions for the 4th annual Music Alley Mainstage Minute Competition, which will determine the final performer for the Music Alley Main Stage on May 2nd. Organizers say the stage schedule is already full, with one remaining slot reserved for the competition winner. Musicians and bands can enter by emailing a link to a performance video to specialevents@mansfieldtexas.gov. Submissions close January 29th. Public voting begins January 30th. The winning act will receive a paid performance on the Music Alley main stage.
Mansfield ISD has announced updated entry protocols for all home high school basketball games for the 2026 season. The district says the procedures are now in effect at every campus hosting games. Under the new rules, all students must present a valid student ID to a campus administrator in order to enter. Middle school students, whether they attend Mansfield ISD or not, must be escorted by an adult at the entrance and remain under adult supervision during the duration of the event. The district also confirmed that its no backpack policy remains in place from last year. In addition, Mansfield ISD continues to enforce a clear bag policy inside gymnasiums. Any bag larger than 6 by 9 inches must be transparent. Parents and students are encouraged to plan ahead to avoid delays at the door. Speaking of sports, North Texas SC signs a new defender, and we'll talk about it because sports is next.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air is a family-owned local service provider with over 20 years of experience. Servicing Mansfield and surrounding areas, we offer expert plumbing, electrical, heating, and air solutions focused on quality workmanship, customer satisfaction, fair pricing, and guaranteed results for homes and businesses.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
In sports, North Texas Soccer Club has signed a new defender, Ian Charles, to his first professional contract, an MLS Next Pro deal that runs through the 26-27 season. Charles is an alumnus of the FC Dallas Academy and most recently spent the second half of 2025 at UCLA, where he made 2 appearances for the Bruins, including his collegiate debut. Before joining UCLA, Charles appeared for North Texas SC as an academy player. He made his professional debut last year in March against St. Louis and scored his first career goal just a month later. North Texas SC now has 8 players under contract for the upcoming season. The club will continue to play home games at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington until the completion of Mansfield Stadium. Moving to the hardcourt, there were 3 Mansfield ISD basketball games last Friday night on both the boys and the girls' side. Let's start with the boys. Lake Ridge topped Weatherford 76-62. Summit overtook Timberview 60-49. And Legacy nipped Crowley 94-93. All 5 Mansfield ISD boys teams are still standing at over 500, and Timberview and your Mansfield Tigers top the list at 19-4. Summit is now 18-5, Lake Ridge 16-7, and Legacy at 15-12. Summit has won 14 of their last 15 games and is in first place in 5A district play with a perfect 5-0 record, and is also ranked number 9 in the state. Heading over to the girls' side of the basketball court, Lake Ridge topped Weatherford 66-53. Summit overtook Timberview 61-32, and Legacy beat Crowley 68-61. Lake Ridge tops the Mansfield ISD girls standing with a 19-5 record, second in district play behind North Crowley, and is ranked 71st in the state. By the way, your Mansfield boys and girls Tigers had a bye Friday night. And that, my friends, is a look at sports. This coming Saturday, January 24th, is National Compliment Day, a reminder that saying something nice is one of the few things left that is still free and doesn't require an app. The idea is pretty simple. Take a moment to offer a genuine compliment to someone around you, a coworker, a family member, a friend, even that stranger who actually used their turn signal. Psychologists say sincere compliments can boost your mood, reduce stress, and improve relationships. In other words, a few kind words can do more good than any motivational poster hanging on the break room wall. So this weekend, spread a little positivity. Compliment a haircut. Andrew, I like your haircut. Thank a cashier. Tell someone they did a great job. Worst case, they smile. Best case, they remember it all day. And if no one compliments you back, just tell yourself, you know what? I really nailed that compliment.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're talking about listening to your body, women's health symptoms you shouldn't ignore on Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
This week's cocktail does not shout. It nods. It wraps its arm around you and says, I see you, and thanks for showing up.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
And Colleen, before we go to break, just a short reminder, if you are a business owner or a manager, we would love for you to consider adding About Mansfield to your advertising or marketing budget for 2026. Help us keep the lights on and show our great community that you care about keeping news alive in Mansfield. You can reach out to us through our website contact page at aboutmansfield.com. This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to Keith Kunkel, who was the first person to correctly answer last week's Mansfield trivia question. According to the City of Mansfield website, McClendon Mac Moody was the first African American to be elected to the Mansfield City Council. Looking for the weekly, highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield trivia question? You can find it in its new home on the About Mansfield Facebook page. So, log into Facebook right now and hit the About Mansfield News Talk page. As always, the first person to email the correct answer will win a $25 restaurant gift card, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance. Good luck. When we come back, we turn the page to the features section. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Dan Hunt, president and co-owner of FC Dallas and North Texas SC, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section. Angel Biasatti is here to talk about your health in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
Today, we're talking about listening to your body, women's health symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Women are often experts at caring for everyone else, but not always listening to their own bodies. Busy schedules, family responsibilities, and work demands can make it easy to dismiss symptoms as normal or temporary. But paying attention to what your body is telling you is one of the most important steps in protecting your health. While every woman's experience is different, certain symptoms deserve attention and should not be ignored. Ongoing fatigue. Feeling tired occasionally is normal, but persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest may signal underlying issues such as anemia, thyroid disorders, sleep problems, or heart concerns. If exhaustion is interfering with daily life, it's time to talk with a healthcare provider. Changes in menstrual cycles, irregular periods, usually heavy bleeding, missed cycles, or severe cramps can be signs of hormonal imbalances, fibroids, endometriosis, or other gynecologic conditions. Changes that feel off for your body are worth discussing with your OB-GYN, especially if it's been happening for a while. Pelvic pain, pressure, or discomfort, especially if it's ongoing, shouldn't be brushed aside. These symptoms can be associated with reproductive, urinary, or digestive health issues and should be evaluated. Unexplained weight issues. Sudden weight gain or loss without changes in diet or activity may point to hormonal or metabolic conditions. Your body may be signaling that something needs attention. Breast changes, lumps, skin changes, nipple discharge, or persistent pain should always be checked. While many breast changes are benign, early evaluation is key to peace of mind and early detection when needed. Shortness of breath or chest discomfort. Women can experience heart-related symptoms differently than men. Shortness of breath, nausea, jaw pain, dizziness, or unusual chest discomfort should never be ignored and may require immediate medical care. Mood changes and brain fog. Persistent anxiety, depression, mood swings, or difficulty concentrating may be linked to stress, hormonal changes, sleep disruption, or mental health conditions. Emotional health is just as important as physical health. You know your body better than anyone else. If something doesn't feel right, trust your instinct. Seeking care early can lead to better outcomes and often simpler treatment options. Listening to your body isn't about worry. It's about awareness. Taking time to address symptoms, ask questions, and prioritize preventive care is an act of self-respect and strength. When women listen to their bodies, they take an important step toward lifelong health. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink that's a softer, warmer option than the usual libation in this week's Cocktail of the Week. Brian.
Welcome to this week's Cocktail of the Week. Again, as always, brought to you by Bourbon Gospel. I'm your host, Brian Certain, and I'm here to mix intention with tradition, meaning with mixology. There's a word you hear a lot this time of year. And no, it's not detox. It's something softer. It's warmer. It sounds like homemade soup being dropped off by a neighbor with a handwritten card when you least expect it. It smells like clove and citrus, and it feels like you finally exhaled after holding your breath through the holidays. Every week this month, we're exploring a word to guide your year, inspired by the book One Word by John Gordon. And instead of a long list of resolutions, this approach invites us to choose one word, one focal point for growth, for alignment, and for daily living. This word is the word that you use that may sound soft, but it packs some serious spiritual punch. The word of the week is gratitude. Gratitude is something you choose. It's not something that happens to you. So today I'm introducing the Thank You Toddy. It's a bourbon-based hot toddy infused with honey, lemon, clove, and calming chamomile. It's not just a warm drink on a cold day. It's a practice in presence. Every ingredient was chosen to soothe not just the body, but your soul. So what are the ingredients, you say? Well, I say you're going to use 2 ounces of a good bourbon. Again, bad bourbon, we don't have time for that. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice. A 1/2 ounce of honey simple syrup. That's a 2-to-1 honey to water ratio. 4 ounces of a chamomile tea, steeped, not boiled. 2 cloves, and a lemon wheel and a cinnamon stick for garnish. So how are we going to put together this grateful concoction? Well, you're going to steep the cup of chamomile tea and set it aside. Then in a heat-proof mug, you're going to combine the bourbon, the lemon juice, the honey syrup, and the cloves. Then you're going to slowly, gently blend the hot tea in, and then garnish with the lemon wheel and the cinnamon stick. Now, sip it slowly and let it warm more than just your hands. The hot toddy originated in 18th century Scotland, where whiskey, hot water, honey, and spices were used as a remedy for almost every winter ailment. The drink made its way across the Atlantic, evolving into a staple of Southern comfort. 1 part medicine, 1 part ritual, 1 part friend. By incorporating chamomile, we're elevating the calming effects, while the lemon and clove nod to the traditional seasonal wellness. It's familiar, it's grounding, and it's a little bit humble, just like the word celebrates. So here's the truth about gratitude. It's not passive, it's intentional. It's not just a warm feeling you get when things go your way. It's a mindset, it's a choice, it's a discipline. It's a ninja-level training for the soul. You can't wait for the world to hand you moments to be thankful for. You have to hunt them. You have to create them, and then you have to speak them out loud. There's a popular reflection prompt that I keep close. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you were grateful for today? Think about that for a second. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you were grateful for today? What would be left? Who would be there? Who would disappear because you forgot to notice? So take a moment today, right now. Say thank you to someone, to yourself, to God, to your dog. Gratitude is just an emotional hygiene. It's soul armor. So how are we going to make our mocktail version? We're going to do 5 ounces of chamomile tea, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of honey syrup, a dash of cinnamon, and then garnish with the lemon wheel and cinnamon stick. I call this the golden hour. The 0-proof variation brings all the warmth and intention of the original without the bourbon. It's perfect for mindful evenings or grateful mornings. As always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with Steve's in-studio interview with longtime Mansfield resident John Pressley.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Fire Chief Mike Ross, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. In the studio today, I've known him for many, many, many years. Never really got deep into who he is. We go to church together. I see him around the community. He is a staple in the community. John Pressley, welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it.
Are you a native Mansfieldian?
Born and raised in this town.
Born and raised. So talk about where were the schools that you went to? Elementary school?
There were 3 elementary schools when I was in school back in the 60s, and it was Alice Ponder.
Yeah.
It was Erminash and Tarver Rendon. Those were the only 3 elementary schools, and we had 1 high school, and that was where Wester sits right now.
And there were 3 elementary schools. You went to
Alice Ponder,
and that is up by the post office.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. I lived just a half mile up the road, and that's where I went to school.
Talk about then. What are your memories of Mansfield back in the 60s?
When I was a child, there was 1 red light in the entire town.
Main and Broad?
Main and Broad.
Okay.
And when you went north into Arlington, the very first red light you hit was Pioneer Parkway and Cooper Street.
Oh, my gosh.
There was absolutely nothing between downtown Arlington and downtown Mansfield.
And living in Mansfield was living out in the sticks then.
You were in the country.
Yeah.
You were in the country. We had the Dairy Queen. We had the Cowbell Rodeo, and we had the Bronco Restaurant in downtown Mansfield. And that was about the only place to eat. When I think it was early 70s, the Whataburger came, and we thought we were in high cotton because we had a Whataburger in Mansfield.
Okay, so the DQ on Broad Street.
It's the same one. It's been there this whole time.
Wow. Was pretty much the first restaurant.
Yes, fast food restaurant.
Fast food, okay. Whataburger now up on Main Street, across from Legacy High School, which then would have been across from the Cowbell
Rodeo.
Okay.
And the Mansfield Livestock Commission Company, where it was the sale barn.
Okay.
And my father was the auctioneer at the sale barn.
And your dad was also involved with the Cowbell Rodeo.
He wasn't involved with the Cowbell. We knew the owners of the Cowbell, grew up with all the family, the Jack Ratchett.
Okay.
And grew up with them. The Wileys owned the Mansfield Livestock Commission, but my father was the auctioneer, and we had a dairy off of Broad Street, down where Broad and 6th were, where the Linda Nix Clinic is, and the mission is right now. That was the entrance to our dairy. We used to milk about 250 head of cattle twice a day.
Talk about a typical Friday night at the Cowbell Arena.
It was packed. There was wall-to-wall people. You had everything from bronc busting to roping to barrel racing, bull riding, and then you had the kids event where they would tie a ribbon around the calf's neck, turn it loose, and let the kids chase the calf around, and whoever got the ribbon off the calf won a prize. And I don't even remember what the prize was back then. It couldn't have been a whole lot, but it was a lot of fun to watch all the kids go crazy.
When you went to Alice Ponder, was there a middle school or a
middle school? Was the original high school where the Rock Gym is on Broad Street.
Gotcha.
That was the middle school.
Did that have a name, or it was
just Mansfield Middle School?
Mansfield Middle School.
And a lot of the teachers who the schools are named after used to work in those areas and in those schools. So I've known a lot of the teachers.
Do you recall? Because there are a lot of, especially the elementary schools, are named after former, whether it's teachers or administrators.
Linda Job, Danny Jones.
These are all your teachers?
All my teachers, yes, sir.
Okay.
The principal of Erman Nash for 20 plus years was Renda Branson, and she was one of my teachers back when I was in 6th grade, and I still see her today. And in fact, Linda Job just came in my shop 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And she's looking great. But yeah, a lot of those teachers were teachers that we had. The newest elementary school that popped into Mansfield was J.L. Boren. Okay. And when that opened, would have been 1975 or 76. And my brother Skeeter was one of the very first students at J.L. Boren.
Okay. And now the next generation of names and schools are opening that my kids, their principal was Alma Martinez.
Yes.
And my son, one of my son's favorite teachers was Brenda Norwood, and now they have schools named after them. And so it's neat to see the next generation that you grew up with some of the schools that have been around, let's say, a while, and now the newer schools are being named after.
Alma Martinez was my son and my daughter's principal, and I got to know Alma real well because I was very involved with my kids when they were going through school, so I got to know her real well.
They're over at Mary Orr.
Yes, she was amazing.
Yes, yes, wonderful, wonderful woman. Growing up here at Mansfield, you went through the schools. Did you wind up going through college? Or
I went to UTA for a year and a half, but we opened up the jewelry store in 1983, which was a year after I graduated, and it just got to where it was just too much trouble trying to work and open a brand new business like we did back then and go to school. So I just kind of dropped out of UTA and focused on our company. Mansfield Fine Jewelry.
So you and I both don't have a college degree.
Yes, sir. You're right.
But it works.
It does. It works.
Let's see if ChatGPT is correct.
Okay.
It said that you were pursuing a career as a butcher before you became a jeweler.
That is correct. I was a butcher. I worked at the main grocery store here in Mansfield, Lee's Supermarket.
Lee's Supermarket.
When you grew up in Mansfield, if you went to work, at the grocery store. You were either a sacker or a stocker. And I thought, I've grown up, and I worked before that, worked at a barbecue place. So I would cut the brisket. I thought, I can cut meat. So I applied in the meat market, and I got a job as a butcher. And I worked for about 2.5 years at the Lee's Supermarket as a butcher until I cut part of my thumb off one day.
Ooh.
And went, that's not really what I want to do. And so started doing a few odd jobs. But Mom and I started the jewelry store October 1st, 1983, and we've been there for 42 years now in the same location.
On North Main Street?
On North Main Street.
The same location?
Same location.
Okay.
We started in our storage room. 3 years later, we built the building that we're in right now. And thanks to some very helpful people that Mom and I knew back in the day, helped guide us and point us in the right direction.
I've only been doing this for 6 years, and I'm in my third location.
Oh, okay.
So I got to quit moving around. To what do you attribute your success?
My mother.
Your mother, Alma.
Yes. Mom was the driving force of the jewelry store. The town was very small back then. It was what it was. It was still growing. Arlington was working its way south, but we knew everybody here in town. We had a reputation, and my mother had the personality to be able to talk to people and to make them feel comfortable leaving their grandmother's antique jewelry with us. You just don't trust anybody with your heirlooms. And each piece of jewelry has a story. It just didn't show up on your hand. You got it for a birthday, an anniversary, or it was passed down from your grandmother or your grandfather. So every piece of jewelry has a story and is sentimental to somebody. And Mom made them feel comfortable with that. She really did.
And I would assume then customers are telling their story to your mom.
Yes.
And here's what ChatGPT actually said about you, that today he, John, is the guy people trust with wedding rings, family treasures, and occasionally their entire life story at the counter.
That's 100% true. Yeah. I did not know that. I had never ChatGPT'd myself.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you a quick story though too. Getting back to the schools.
Yeah.
Annette Perry. Okay, the school's named after Annette Perry.
Right.
Well, one year Annette came in the jewelry store, and my mother likes to tell this story, with a brown Buddy's paper bag.
Okay.
With all her jewelry in it, and had one of her teachers with her, or one of her teacher's assistants with her. And she walked in and she put this brown paper bag on the showcase and said, Gerald said, we need to have all this appraised. Will you get it done to give us a call? And Mom said, yes, Annette, we'll take care of it. And she walked out the door. 10 minutes later, Annette called Mom just rolling, laughing. Said the other teacher that was with her said, you just left all your jewelry with that lady and didn't get a receipt. And Annette said, sweetheart, if I can't trust Alma and John, I can't trust anybody.
That's
and
right.
She had to call Mom back and tell her, because we'd known Annette way back when, and her husband Gerald too.
Oh, that's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one story that's stuck with you?
This is kind of my story that really makes a difference. Back when COVID hit, I had a young girl, probably in her early 20s, come in, and she had 4 little silver rings. And she said, these rings belong to my grandmother, and she passed away from COVID. I want to get them sized and cleaned so I can wear them and remind me of her.
Sure.
I said, we can definitely do that. I said, we're extremely busy. Give me 4 or 5 working days. I'll get it done. And I got to work the next morning, and I ran across her job, and then I had about 8 custom pieces that were going to take days and days to accomplish. And I thought, I can get this girl's repairs done in about 30 minutes. So I jumped on it, and I did it. And I called her, and I said, I want to let you know your rings are sized and cleaned. You can pick them up at your convenience. I knew how important this was to you. And she goes, are you serious? I said, yes, ma'am. Just at your convenience, you can come get them. She was at the store in 20 minutes with tears rolling down her face because it reminded her of her deceased grandmother. And we were able to do that.
Yeah.
And I've had people over the years ask me how I like my job. And if I do my job right, there's either happy tears or smiling when they walk out the door. And that makes me happy.
Sure. Sure. And it's neat when you're in a position, and I tell people this all the time, you either have to go to work or you get to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to go to work. And yes. I would assume that's
I get to go to work. My mother retired about 5 years ago when COVID hit, but my son has been working with me for 15 years now. He is our newest generation. He's got all the technology. I don't even know how to turn those computers on, but we work so well together because he has the new school technology and I have the old school history and knowledge of how to do things that have been done for hundreds and hundreds of years in the jewelry business. So we work real well together, but I also get to have my grandchildren at the store.
Oh, nice.
Greeting the customers, and I get to have them with me every day. So yes, I enjoy my job so much. It's amazing.
When you were a student at UTA and you and your mom, Alma, decided to open a jewelry store, why? Did you have experience in jewelry?
We had no experience in jewelry. Mom was going, well, let me put it this way. We're going to do this. There was a lady that was a friend of Mom's. Her name was Elizabeth, and we called her Patty, was her nickname. And it was Elizabeth Griffin. This was John Howard Griffin's wife.
Oh, okay. From the author.
The author, Black Like Me.
Mm-hmm.
They used to live just around the corner from us. Well, Pie worked at TCU, and told my mother there was a little jewelry making class at the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History. Why don't you go play with me? And so Mom agreed, and they went through the first section of making jewelry. Mom met some jewelers in Fort Worth that just fell in love with her. And so she started playing a little bit. They had all the equipment. They had everything. So Mom had a little black case that probably wasn't 6 inches by 8 inches that had a few rings in it. And she thought, if I could fill this little case up, I'd be doing something really good, you know? And it just, the people in town found out that she was playing with jewelry, and it just started to grow. And we had a dear attorney friend of ours in Arlington, James Cribbs. He has been in Arlington his whole life. In fact, his father's named after the police station, Ott Cribbs.
Okay.
And he found out Mom was playing with jewelry. And he said, little lady, he said, why don't you just open up a jewelry store? And she said, I can't. She said, I'm dead broke. He was doing some attorney work for us. And she said, everything I'm getting, I'm paying you. And he said, well, what would it take? And she said, I don't know. He said, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. I want you to come back and tell me. So Mom came home. We had a storage room next to our house, figured out what it would take to convert the storage room, buy an alarm, buy a safe, buy some showcases, a little bit of equipment, some merchandise. That total came out to $5,900. So she went back later, showed it to Mr. Cribbs, and said, I can't do it. I'm broke. He reached into his desk, grabbed his checkbook, and wrote her a check for $5,900.
Wow.
She pushed it back across the desk at him, said that might as well be $1 million to me because I am dead broke. He said, little lady, he said, I got faith in you. He said, I think you're going to do just fine. So October 1st, 1983, we opened up. We were only open 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because I was going to UTA. January 1st, 1984, she wrote him a check back for $5,900. It was standing room only in our little showroom that very first Christmas, and it was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And we have been here ever since, growing. Had some good times, had some bad struggles back, in the 90s when everything went south. We still survived thanks to our customer base.
And opening a jewelry store, opening any type of store, there were growing pains. I mean,
yes.
Because both of you had little to no experience,
right? Mm-hmm. Mom used to laugh and say that I would fire her every 2 weeks, but she would just keep coming back to work.
Oh.
She would tell our customers that.
All right. But now you guys know what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about gold and diamonds, because especially now, gold is at its
peak.
It's at a price where it's never been before.
Record high right now.
And
unbelievable.
Is that affecting your prices?
It affects the price. I have to be the bearer of bad news. I mean, gold has gone up, almost doubled in 1 year, from $2,200 to $4,600 an ounce. So when you're looking at buying, say, just a gold chain, a year ago it would have cost you $300, maybe $400. It's going to cost you $900 now. Has nothing to do with us or the industry. It's just the price of gold is outrageous. So yes, it does make a difference, but people are selling their old gold like there's no tomorrow.
Wow.
They're actually making money on rings that they bought in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
They're selling them for more than what they paid for them because of the cost of the material. But, it's just what it is. It's what we're working with right now. But diamonds have actually come down in price for the first time in history.
Let's go back to gold for just a second. So if I have chains or rings or anything that's made of gold, I can come to Mansfield, find jewelry, and
we can weigh it up, and we can tell you what the value of it is with the current market rate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you purchase from them.
Yes, we do.
You can melt it down and use it for...
We melt it down and refine it back to pure, and then alloy it back to either 18, 14, or 10 karat, whatever the need is for us to manufacture something new out of it. Because we do all of our manufacturing on the premises, everything from our CAD drawing to our castings, diamond settings, everything's done on the premise between my son and myself.
You mentioned diamonds. Diamonds are going down in price because...
Some diamonds have dropped in price because of the popularity of lab-grown diamonds.
Define a lab-grown diamond.
Lab-grown diamonds are diamonds that were created in a lab in about 3 weeks under high pressure.
This is not using a 3D printer type?
No, they actually grow using a little seed of a diamond. They actually grow a diamond and they cut it. Lab-grown popularity has exploded because it's a non-blood diamond. They're a lot less expensive. Thomas likes to put it that if you bought a TV, 60-inch TV 5 years ago, it cost you $5,000.
Right.
Now you can get them for $500. Technology is going to get better and better on creating these lab-grown diamonds. The prices are going to get cheaper and cheaper. So they are people, the younger generation can get a 2-carat lab-grown diamond for $2,000, and it looks like a $20,000 diamond.
Wow.
So having said that, the De Beers are really having a hard time in South Africa right now because they're sitting on all these mined natural diamonds that they can't move. So they brought the diamond prices down a little bit.
Okay.
So it's really interesting.
So as we talked about last Sunday, when I ran into you in town, that my wife's diamond fell off the fitting. She has no idea where the diamond is. I can now buy her a bigger lab-grown diamond versus going with a natural diamond.
You can.
Okay.
And it is 100% a diamond. Lab-grown diamonds are they're not natural, but they are chemically 100% a diamond.
Can we change subject?
Sure.
You're the president of Mansfield's biggest parade.
Yes, sir, I am.
And I notice you're wearing a green shirt today.
Yeah.
So that's
I typically wear my green to support the pickle parade. Yes, sir.
And the pickle parade is coming up.
Yes, it is.
So we thought we at least get that information out there that the pickle parade is March 21st.
Yes.
And but there's also the Palooza. Let's see if I get the title correct. Mansfield's only St. Patty's Day parade and Palooza?
We are the world's only St. Patrick's Day pickle parade and Palooza. Yes, it's a mouthful, but we have it trademarked. We have it registered. It belongs to us.
Okay.
And we are very proud of that.
And this is the
14th year.
14th annual.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to say that I rode in the first pickle parade.
Well, I'm glad. It was amazing. It really was. That first year, we did not know what to expect.
Right.
We started off on Dallas Street there at St. Jude's with I think we had like 35 entries into our little parade. And the Pickle Queens were the final float. And when we made the turn off of Dallas Street onto Main and saw the volume of people that were there, it was just so emotional that this just came out of nowhere. I mean, Amanda Rogers had the idea to start it and put all of us in place, and we have grown it, and it's just absolutely amazing. Last year, the police estimated we had 50,000 people in downtown, which is about half the population of Mansfield was at our event.
It's because they all wanted to hear the announcers.
You bet. Oh, you did a magnificent job announcing last year. I was so grateful.
Thank you. Last year was my first year as the Pickle Parade announcer, co-announcer with JD.
Yes.
And I guess I did all right because you've asked me back for a second year.
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
And I will be there on Main Street, pretty much in front of Dirty Job Brewing, making the announcements of the floats. The theme of this year's Pickle Parade, because there's a theme every year.
There's a theme every year, and this year the theme is the USA celebrating 250 years.
Party like it's 1776.
Yes.
And the Pickle Parade is always...
It's always around St. Patrick's Day. We pushed it back to after St. Patrick's Day this year because of the Grand Prix in Arlington is the week before that. And we didn't want to have conflicts with rental equipment, with people, okay, do I go to the parade or do I go to watch the race cars? So we're going to be the weekend after St. Patrick's Day. We try to coordinate it with Greenville because Greenville has their party, and we try not to overlap too much.
Right.
Because of the volume of people and what we do, we want people to be able to enjoy themselves. And it's really unique because I've got one person that comes to the parade every year, and he finds me at the main stage and reminds me that he saw me about 8 or 9 years ago on channel, I think we were on channel 8, early one morning promoting the parade.
Yep, they're on the plaza.
Yeah, they're on the plaza, and they thought he lives in Keller. And they thought this sounded so cool, so they drove down that day to come to the pickle parade. And every year he comes back and says, "You remember me? I was the one that," yes, sir, I sure do. And so it's really unique, the following that the parade has had. And we started thinking about it not too long ago. We have an entire generation that's about to start driving cars that never knew Mansfield without a pickle parade.
Right.
It's always been here.
14 years ago. Mm-hmm. So the logistics has to be incredible. I mean,
it is.
So it's not just the board members that have their things to do, but you've also got a team of volunteers.
We have a team of volunteers that help us tremendously with the Palooza, even lining up the parade. Yeah, logistics is a nightmare, but that's kind of what works best for me.
Yeah.
I do all the logistics because of my job. I'm given a problem. You've got a diamond missing or a head, I've got to figure out how to fix it. Well, in the event, I'm the one that sets up all the lines, all the vendors, where they're going to go, the stage, the barricades. I solved that problem. And the kids area, how we set that all up, it's absolutely amazing, logistically speaking, pulling all this together in one day.
And it works.
It works. And we have never, thank God, had an issue with 14 years with all these people. It's a family-friendly event. Mm-hmm. I was listening to one of the talk radios going to Dallas last year to pick up my stage banners, and they were talking about Greenville, that Greenville's going to have Mike Madonna as their grand marshal and all the libations and all the parties. And they said, but if you're not into that, head on down to Mansfield for the world's only St. Patrick's Day Pickle Parade and Palooza. And I thought, we're synonymous now with the Greenville Parade.
There you go.
You don't want to go to that event, bring your family down to us, because we have a free kids area. We have a free parade, free bands. The only thing it costs you, free parking, free shuttles. Yeah. The only thing you pay for is if you want to eat or drink something on your own.
There you go.
So it's, and we do that for our community. We love seeing what we can put on. After the parade, I usually migrate back to our main stage and I sit down and I just look and go, I threw a party and look at all my friends that showed up.
We did it.
We did it. And you can kind of take a big breath of air at that point in time.
Do you have a grand marshal chosen for this year?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're still working on that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We've got one that we're working on, but we haven't got them nailed down just quite yet.
So, all right.
Yeah.
March 21st starts at 12 noon on Main Street. Party like it's 1776, the Pickle Parade and Palooza. I'm not going to do the whole world's only Pickle Parade and Palooza.
Yes.
John, where can people find out more information about the Pickle
Parade? They can go to pickleparade.org, go to our website. They can see us on Facebook. They can follow the Pickle Queens. Each one of the Pickle Queens has their, all their stuff that they can follow. And the girls are just absolutely amazing. They work their little tails off. Each queen has their own job that they do.
Sure.
RT does the kids area. Melissa does the food area. My wife does the baby parade. And that's one of the cutest things in the world is the baby parade, because these mothers go all out decorating their little wagons and their strollers for their little kids to be on Main Street and parade up and down before the main parade. So it's a lot of fun.
And just like at the Macy's parade where Santa Claus is the last float, the Pickle Parade, the Pickle Queens.
The Pickle Queens are the Santa Claus. They are the Santa Claus of our parade. They are the final one, and everybody looks forward to seeing them. And it's just amazing because after the event, they're off and they're in the crowd, and all these little children are coming up and they want their pictures made with them.
Yeah.
The little kids actually think they're royalty. They are queens. They are queens. And it is so cool. And you walk away and your face is sore because you're smiling so much. You see all the joy that you bring into these people's lives. And it's been now almost 10 years ago, Kyle was working with the police department, and the parade had gotten so big that I was in downtown waiting for the parade to start. And he looked at me and he goes, John, what in the world would possess you to do this? And I just looked at him and I said, Kyle, I said, do you see all these people here? He goes, yeah. I said, we made all these people happy for one day.
That's it.
I said, why wouldn't we do it? We bring joy to people and it's so much fun and you get so much enjoyment out of it yourself.
Mansfield native, John Pressley.
Thank you very much.
I have enjoyed the time that we're spending. Next week, we're going to have you and one of your partners on to talk about a great charity event coming up. But we'll see you on March 21st. And again, if you, the listener, is out there at the parade, drop on by the announcer's booth, say hi. At least not during the parade. I may be a little busy, but before or after. John, a pleasure.
Thank you so very much for having me, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk in studio with, again, John Pressley, and we'll be joined by Nicole Dyer to talk about all the great things Mansfield Cares has to offer. In the meantime, this is the place where you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, amplify, elevate, celebrate, embrace, explore, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already. So you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never, ever, 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 ever send you any spam. We promise.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.